Hello and welcome back to the channel. Once again, super excited for this video. This time for two reasons. First of all, I have this super cool new haircut, so subscribe for that. And second of all, this is gonna be part 2 on how to play Pudge support. This time we're gonna be soft support, we're gonna be position 4, and we're gonna go through some really cool replays to see how to play Pudge, how not to play Pudge for sure, and I think it's gonna be really useful. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm an Immortal player, I'm a 6k player in the Europe region. I used to be 7k. But I dropped, And what we mainly do in this channel is we go through a lot of replays for supports, only for the laning stage, so we can give our carries or our position 3 this time the best possible conditions for them to carry us. We're gonna go through some really cool replays. We're gonna go through itemization, thought process, duo matches, and yeah, it's really good if you wanna play Pudge position 4. This is a video to go. Super excited. Without wasting time, let's go into that.
Moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster.
Okay, let's start the guide. Before I start though, what I want to say is that this type of videos requires a lot of games, a lot of editing, and a lot of time and energy, and of course, once again, a lot of coffee. So if you can just subscribe and generally interact with the video, I would actually appreciate it. So the difference between position 5 Pudge and position 4 Pudge is that the position 4 Pudge is like the position 5 Pudge, but you meet up here. The problem with that is that you cannot really abuse the Orb of Venom rod that we set in the position 5 guide because the creep wave meets under tower. What does this mean for us? Just we cannot actually chase because the tower is actually next to them. So we have two options. We will either push the wave and side pull, and if we side pull, then the creep wave is gonna go camp, and we're gonna create a safe lane in the off lane. That's the first thing. Or you'll just have to hookshot and then pretty much bring them to you. Okay, that's like the idea. Push, side pull, of course, and then once you have all this space, then you can just use with the Orb of Venom and the rod, and you can just chase people down. The second of all is, as we said in the position 5 role, that Pudge shreds support. So there are not many heroes that, with the Orb of Venom and the rod can actually sustain your damage. So if you get to play versus Crystal Maiden, Apparition, Wyvern, these type of supports, you actually shred them. So it is important to play always around this area, and if they are smart, they should play like this. They should dodge you as much as possible. So the game starts, and of course I get to play with the Spirit Breaker right now versus Anti-Mage and Treant Protector. Now you might think that this might be not that bad of a lane, but the problem is that I just don't see how we actually kill this Anti-Mage, unless, Basslord, Spirit Breaker managed to do that. But generally, the problem is that Anti-Mage is going to burn both of our mana, and if we don't have mana, then the main source of damage that we have is going to be physical, which Anti-Mage struggles, that is true. But then there's a Treant Protector that can go level 2 Lich, and that can go even Living Armor, so we have actually no chance for us to do anything in the lane to have kill potential, okay? So what we want to do, actually, is for, Spirit Breaker can be fine because he's quite tanky as a hero, and but I honestly can't see how we can actually kill. Maybe we find some Treant Protector kill. Anyway, what you want to do though as Pudge is this exact move, and this applies for Dawnbreaker position 4. Like if you've seen other guys like Dawnbreaker, Undying, if you play position 4, this is what you want to do. Undying is not a position 4, it's a position 5, but if you play him position 4, then do the same thing, Go here, place a lane ward, and what you want to do is punish the greedy position 3. What do I mean? Heroes like Silencer, Pagna, Necrophos, even Slardar, heroes that if you kill, let's say you have this lane ward, you're hiding here, and then they just move down, for the first creep wave, and then you just kill them because no one can actually escape from you. For example, Marci can just spear you back and he can just run. So you want to punish the picks that not only they can disengage, but at the same time they don't have alternatives to come back. What do I mean? If a Necrophos or a Pagna or any of these heroes just die twice and they don't have TP, let's say, okay, what are they gonna do? Go to the jungle? It's just so inefficient, right? So you always want to do this type of moves, especially if you see that there is nothing you can do in the lane stage. So I want to give my team, not my lane, my team the best possible start, and this is what happens here. Look at that. We see Tetris, that was a little bit hard to pull off. He suicides, but again, it is as good as it can get, right? And I thought, okay, I might as well go top. Now, there was a problem with this laning stage, and I recall I was being quite tilted. I get to play versus Treant Protector, and I have no Quelling Blade on Spirit Breaker. Like, this makes absolutely no sense. So, see what I actually do right now. I feel like I can't really do anything right in this lane, you know? And this exact like picture just proves it. Like, I'm just trying to trading and just too much damage, right? And I know that the more levels they get, the harder it's gonna be. Not because Anti-Mage scales, but because Treant Protector scales. And while me and Spirit Breaker scale as well, we don't have mana to utilize that, right? So you see, what you want to do again, always get your level 2 power spike. Anti-Mages got level 2 before us. Nothing we can do. Anytime they can just disengage from us. And you see, right now, I'm just being a little bit patient. All I'm thinking is maybe I can get level 2. Maybe we find some kill on Treant Protector, so I might as well just stay here, okay? Nothing really cool to see here, but you'll see in a while what happens. I'm trying to cancel. I didn't block the camp or like get the cord, I can't recall. Sometimes forget to block it. You always want to block that. So, you know, finding courier, nothing here, and it's like the best thing I can do, right? Treant Protector and Anti-Mage combine really well together. Me and Spirit Breaker, like, meh, I just don't see how we synergize together. So if we can split the matchup in 1v1s, Spirit Breaker versus AM is like Slaughter versus AM. It's really good, you know? He doesn't really care about mana because he has a bass, right? And if he's out of mana, then Anti-Mage, what is he gonna do? Anti-Mage deals damage only when the enemy has mana. The same thing with me and Treant Protector. Treant Protector, the truth is that he trades way better versus me, but I have the level 2, so I'm like, okay, maybe if I trade a little bit unfavorably here, it's fine, because in my mind, this is a lane that we just have to survive, right? And I'm not really scared about an Anti-Mage in the mid game and late game, because I have a PA. Usually Anti-Mage, like, you know, struggles a lot versus high physical damage like PA and, you know, Phantom Assassin, Templar Assassin, this type of heroes. And of course I have Spirit Breaker to chase him the whole map, okay? So I end up buying the Quelling Blade, so my Spirit Breaker is going to be as safe as possible. And this is a really passive lane for us, right? CS-wise, Anti-Mage farms, Spirit Breaker farms, you know, Spirit Breaker has a little bit of CS advantage because, you know, more tanky and he can just bully a little bit the Anti-Mage. So what we want to do is literally drag the attention away from the Treant Protector so they can't run us down, okay? You see, I'm just cutting the trees, nothing to see here. Doing some really, you know, I'm so desperate right now to drag the attention away from the Treant Protector that, you know, I'm just still shotting the hook. And right now, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe 2v1 scenario, get mana burnt. It's just so hard, you know, honestly so hard. Nothing to say here. And since I don't have anything better to do, the best thing that, and this is like a position 4 mindset, the best thing that you want to do is start rotating to other lanes to somehow justify your existence to the lane, right? This is not Pudge specific, but, you know, this is why Pudge has a really bad reputation, because they don't do this exact thing. So I'm securing the rune here, begging for a bottle refill. And what do? Well, nothing I can do right now. I'm going back, right? Back to the lane. Maybe I can be useful there, you know, kind of see the situation. And again, what's the plan? The plan is to actually drag the attention away from the Treant Protector, so my Spirit Breaker is going to farm free, right? I know that Anti-Mage is also going to farm free, but I can't actually do anything about that. Also, I should also reward this camp, but I felt like Treant Protector can just walk anytime there, and he can just block it manually, and I can't really stop him about that. So, if you see like there's nothing special here, I'm trying again, Treant Protector, and then sadly we get ganked, we die, and in my mind I'm like, okay, I can't do anything about that, right? And since I can't do anything, this is again a post-4 mindset. What do? Try to move to other lanes, make something happen. And Pudge is really good at that. Pudge is really good at rotating. He has a skill shot. He can just run people down, right? Especially greedy picks like Phoenix, you know. It's not like I'm going to go to a Slaughter lane that's level 6 and he's going to ulti me and stun him and I'm just going to die, okay? So, if you see, the best thing that you want to do, and this is also something that we said in the position 5 role, is always as Pudge, give yourself, check the other lanes once you die. Give yourself the position to make something happen, right? I'm trying to make something happen again, and, you know, it's 7 minutes in. Honestly, I haven't succeeded much, but this is the beauty about Pudge. What does this mean? I do not require a lot of levels and a lot of goal to make something happen, right? Sometimes you have to, use hook, for example. But yeah, well, what can you say? Sometimes I'm not a hook expert, but some hooks are generally quite simple, right? So kill the mid lane Tetris. What they do, I'm gonna make something happen bot, and I say, okay, Tetris is not here. The rune is top, so maybe I can try and make something in the mid lane. No. And generally that is the plan. We're gonna see the next 2-3 minutes to see, what's gonna happen. But generally, what you want to do is deep vision. Always deep vision, right? Because deep vision will allow you to make hooks that will allow you to find kills, right? Because it's not like we have something like blink dagger and dismember, right? You need deep vision to find targets that you can hook and then make something happen. The second thing is make sure that you play around heroes that you can actually kill with. For example, Void Spirit offers me everything I lack: slow, lockdown, some nuke, and what does Pudge has in the beginning? Some slow and some nuke, but that's it pretty much. So I'm gonna contribute 20% from the kill, and Void Spirit is gonna do 80%, right? And you see, the deep vision is really important. Deep vision allows us to make plays. Again, trying for a hook here. Sadly, it doesn't work out. And you see right now, again, hook expert here, but we just run them down because we have deep vision, right? And of course, I try to play against the heroes I can do something. Versus anti-mates, there's nothing I can do, at least not yet. Maybe if I have some blink BKB in like 30 minutes, that might be a thing. And let's see a little bit more, because I get to buy the Tome. Tome is really important for you. Warlock is already level 6, but if it wasn't, you need the Dismember to, not to skills of the hook, rather than to just run at people and dismember them, okay? At this moment, yeah. I think if you see the networks, we try to help all the lanes. Anti-Mage has really good farm, and Spirit Breaker does not, but the rest of my team has some really, really good, networks right now, right? And again, you see that we're trying to be all over the map, and I think generally that's a fine laning stage for a hero and for a lane that, actually in my mind thought it would be way harder, right? Again, watching a little bit more, that was some really cool plays from Warlock. Yeah, you just kill this guy, and then you just run at people. Once again, you die. What do? Check the map to see what's going on. And yeah, at this moment, you just run to the mid lane. Again, play with the heroes that you're really good with. And of course, smoke is your best friend. Go check the vision. Find some really good plays, and I think that's a really good solid laning stage. The networks, Anti-Mage, yeah, he's out of control, but PA and Void Spirit, I think he went dual, so that's a really good item versus Anti-Mage, so you can lock him down. And I didn't feel pressured about Anti-Mage because I have a Spirit Breaker and PA, all he needs is like a Desolator, and he's just gonna melt him. Let's go to another example, because I think this is a really fine laning stage where the lane didn't actually work out, but the post-4 mindset, unlike the position 5, is to move around the map and make yourself useful. In the position 5 role, you are kind of stuck in the lane. You can't actually leave. Also position 1 players are crybabies, like, I'm not gonna lie. They're like usually, crybabies. But, the position 4 role is a little bit more flexible, and you should act like that, and you should move around the map and make something happen. Let's jump to another example. And we're gonna see 2 next examples on how to play, not to play Pudge with a position 3 that is a ranged hero. So let's jump into that. Welcome back. This is game number 2, and now we're gonna see Pudge, how to play Pudge when you have a ranged hero with you. And generally, you like Pudge when you have ranged hero with you. It's actually pretty cool because your job is quite simple. And this is something I didn't actually do in this game, but I say it to myself as I say it to you. You need to be in front of the position 3. So I have a Death Prophet right now. If Death Prophet is here, I need to be in front of him. Not behind, in front. I need to protect my Death Prophet no matter what. Because just like the position 5 role, it's like generally this is a ranged hero theme. If 2 heroes are in front of you, even as a hero like Death Prophet where she has Siphon Shoals, she will die. I need to be able to help her to disengage or maybe nuke them. I'm gonna say that again, protect. If you have Clockwork, Tasker, Treant, Nyx, play in front of the ranged hero. Super important, okay? And never leave the hero alone. So I'm asking for the Wisp and the Void to find first blood. And again, like the previous example, right? I know that I don't have consumables, but in my mind, we're gonna get first blood. But this is what happens, and this is like the worst, possible start for me. The worst, like the word. I don't have, first blood to actually 5 sentries to actually buy, tangos. And it's like, it can't get worse than that. I was so angry at this moment because, the classic AFK players that just stand there until the game starts. Anyway, but Pudge is really strong, right? He's quite high health to do these plays. Look at that. I'm literally in front of 4 people, and I'm keep going, I'm keep going. And I didn't really mind dying there because I have Invoker versus Visage, which is like a really fine matchup if I help him a little bit. And generally, I dealt a lot of damage to Visage. So the game starts, got first blood, got my consumables, got 2 sentries, 1 to deward my camp and 1 to block the camp, so I can be able to side pull. Of course, push a lane, side pull, bring the lane back, and then what you want to do while the lane is here, abuse all the space here to chase him. Okay, and of course, in the previous example, I had a Treant Protector where I struggle a little bit to deal with him, but right now, I have Apparition. Again, Apparition and Ursa, if they're both on my Death Prophet, they can kill him. So what do you want to do? And this is probably the only thing that you can do, because Pudge is not the type of hero that can actually trade inside the creep wave, unless, they are quite weak as heroes. So what you want to do is, drag the attention away from the Apparition. Look at that. I really want you to see that. And this is why I love Pudge as a hero in the laning stage. Look at that. So much damage. So, Rot, Orb of Venom. Look at the movement speed right now. 222 is like really, really, really hard for the Apparition to play, right? If he plays this way, that's great for me if I drag the attention, because this is a great matchup. Individual again, right? And of course, what we want to do, push and side pull and level 2 power spike, right? And it's for sure, the more levels we get, the harder it's gonna get for the opponents. So we get stronger, because Ursa struggles a lot. Ursa requires time to kill someone because he relies on right clicks, but in the laning stage, right clicks are not as good as spells and nukes. That's why usually you see some Ursas losing lanes to Mars. Yeah, Mars does right click good, and Ursa has a lot of damage and generally is good versus melee heroes, but Mars has 2 nukes and Ursa has none. Okay? So the plan here is to get the level 2, right? I try to deny, be somehow useful and drag the attention away from AA. Look at that. This out of position, right? And of course, look how I play. I play in front of Death Prophet all the time, in front, not behind, in front, and nearby. If they jump on Death Prophet, I need to be there. Look at that. He's out of position. I'm too tanky. I'm inside the creep. I'm too tanky because I know that Ursa is not that strong early on, If we had some level advantage and Ursa is level 5, I'm level 3, probably that's not that great. But level 1 Ursa is really bad. I'm gonna show stats. 46 damage. She also started Orb of Venom, which I don't really care because I just don't see a scenario where Ursa is gonna chase me with a Death Prophet. That's not really gonna happen, right? And right now, again, the plan, nice pause. The plan is to get level 2 and make something happen, right? So they get level 2 here, right? They get level 2 here. So do you see how I play a little bit scared? I'm like, okay, just wait, chill. And now level 2, try to hook, and of course, pulling, right? And look at that, I'm pulling, and look where I walk. I know that most likely they're gonna cancel because I just don't see anyone here. I know that they're gonna cancel, and I feel super strong that even if I start the engage, just like the position 5, if you haven't seen that, go see that. If I start the engage like that, look at that. I can disengage, and most importantly, I'm super strong right now. I mean, I can give, just because I'm quite healthy, I can give enough time for my Death Prophet to join. Look at that. That was really cool from Ursa. I really want to point that out. He knows that I'm gonna hook, right? He goes like 1, 2, 3. I'm ready to hook. And he knows, and I know that he waits for that. So I'm like, okay. And then I just find the hook and he dies, right? And look at that. The most important thing is, do you see the lane here? We created a safe lane in the offlane, right? A safe lane in the offlane. Now, I was so confident about this laning stage that I actually threw it so hard. I actually threw the laning stage, right? I died here, but that's not the way I threw the lane. This is what I did, and I was so mad. Not only at myself, but Generally, I was so mad. When you die, again, you always want to move around the map. And I know that Visage is really is really good versus Invoker, but if you have a pad, then you can just use Rot and then Cold Snap and then just kill him. So here's what I do. Smoke, try to make something happen. And I was actually a little bit mad because, you know, he could just keep the tornado. So I find the hook here, and I'm like, okay, Cold Snap. And the Cold Snap just doesn't proc, honestly. It doesn't proc. I was like super mad. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can rank him down because I have more movement speed, and I don't. And well, I pretty much fed. If we were to take the skill though, that would be great. So you don't really want to do that. What you want to do, and this applies for all supports, if you have a really good laning stage and players just keep coming, you keep going there. I should have kept going top, screw up with the Ursa, right? That would have been great, right? So I learned my lesson, going back to the top lane, and I'm never actually living out of there. You know, from now on, I'm just gonna deal with the Ursa, and I'm gonna protect my Death Prophet. So I'm trying again to find the hook. He knows, probably, obviously, they have vision there because the moment I got revealed, he instantly went back. And right now, we have Catapult, make something happen. And look at that. I tried to hook the Catapult so we can push, but I really want you to see my clicks here. It's really important, right? I really want you to see my clicks here. I hooked that. I didn't go for the Ursa. I went for the Catapult to push, right? And look at that. Do you see that I don't click on the hero because I'm going to track the aggro away from the tower? You know, I'm going to take all of the aggro. So look at that. I'm just using Rot. And then I just, in the final hit, I just hook him. Okay? And again, what we want to do, if Ursa keeps coming back, I'm gonna keep being in this lane, right? Look at that. Okay, by the way, I really want to mention that in the future, if you see this video, and if you can't hook a creep, don't do it, you know, if you don't instantly kill it. But, you know, in this patch, you can actually hook and kill creep, so you might as well take that extra gold, right? And the moment I hear Exorcism, look at that, the moment you hear Exorcism, what you want to do is, look at that. I don't care if I die right now. He can't disengage from that, look at that. I'm ready to dive right now, and Ursa comes to me. I'm like, I don't care, you know. I have so much health. At least if you come with me, you are gonna die as well, right? And of course, at this point, we take the top tower, and I think the laning stage is over. If you see Death Prophet really well. 7 minutes in, we got the tower. This is like level 6 or level 7, I can't recall. And of course, has more XP than my mid lane. And of course, I was tilted here because that was an easy kill on the Rubik. I was bait, you know, like, come, please come, hooking. But, you know, sometimes, and I'm pretty sure you will relate to that, teammate just doesn't want to cooperate. At this point, you know, you start moving around the map. 7 minutes in, you might as well, you know, hook right and left, maybe find some jungle items, and try to play around Death Prophet. Now, in the mid game, I'm not really gonna be, you know, I'm not really gonna be that useful because they have a lot of damage, Visage, Ursa, a lot of high physical damage, so I might as well play around the shard. And what I also want to do is get items like Ghost Scepter, so Ursa won't shred me, force stuff to disengage, you know, from Telekinesis and Visage. I think these are really good items. And of course, if you have more gold, you might as well get something like a Glimmer Cape and get something like a Dagger or BKB. Let's go to another game where I think it's similar to that, play with the Jakiro. So let's jump into that and see another example on how to play with a position 3, where I actually made the same mistake, but I think it's gonna be quite useful. This game number 3 as Pudge position 4, and literally this game, I did the exact same good things and bad things like I did in the previous game, and you're gonna see what I talk about. So I have Jakiro this time instead of Death Prophet, and right now I have Ursa again, and I get to play with the Shadow Shaman. Now that's way easier of a matchup because Ursa cannot really fight into Dual Breath, you know, because Dual Breath slows a lot, and also attack slows, and Ursa relies on actually on right clicking, right? So I place a ward here to maybe see Shadow Shaman. Now, Shadow Shaman also is a type of support that's really slow. If I'm on top of him, he just dies, one Dual Breath, and he just dies. There is only one downside to Shadow Shaman that makes him quite strong. He has a lot of attack damage. So if I get low, he can actually literally shackle me and kill me, right? Anyway, of course, what we want to do is, look at that. He sleeps, and I instantly hook. here. And of course, I used hook, not rod, right? What does this mean for us? Also, what does it mean for us? I need to wait for level 2 power spike, right? Because I can't really ramp people with rod right now. Also, you know, Jakiro got the first blood, and of course, like the apparition in the previous game, look at that. Even if I train favorably, I know that Jakiro is gonna shred and Ursa in the lane, right? So look at that. I just try to trade with him, you know, right click as much as possible, and of course, what I'm gonna get more consumables, right? Tangos, because Shadow Shaman right clicks a lot. Of course, I'm dragging the attention away from Shadow Shaman. Perfect. Try to hook, doesn't work out, and when you don't hook and you're also level 1, the best thing that you can do is, of course, side pull, and the second of all is try to be useful by, you know, denying and right clicking and stuff like that. And let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. Try to side pull here. Again, doesn't work out, you know, maybe too slow. But we get level 2 before them, right? Look at that. Choop. The moment we get it, this guy's dead. Dual breath, I'm hooking, and then I feel so confident that I'm gonna go for Ursa here, right? This is what we want to do. Level 2 power spike, guys. That's so important, right? And it's so hard to play against, right? Until I have my mana, because without mana, I feel like sometimes, at least in this matchup, I need to have the nuke to kill them faster, right? Because otherwise, it's just a rod. And this spell deals as much damage to the opponent as to me, you know? So, I want definitely make hook to feel more confident, right? But this is definitely a really good lane. I'm gonna show CS. Where am I? There we go. And of course, consumables. I need mana. And you see how I'm just chilling right now. I'm playing behind right now, Jakiro, just so my clarity will not cancel. But anytime I can just hook him back because Sackle, you know, makes him steal, so I can just hook him and save him. But most importantly, we are under tower. If you see, we created safe lane situation here. And we try to find 2v1 scenarios. For example, if this guy just tries to pull, we can just focus on this guy. Okay? Again, Orb of Venom on... Oh, that's a good hook. That's a good hook. Orb of Venom on Ursa. Guys, don't do that if you feel like... if you have so much damage, don't go for Orb of Venom. Orb of Venom is good if you get to play, I don't know, versus maybe some kind of Pango in the position 3 role. Or you have a Crystal Maiden that's gonna contribute a lot of nuke, or Jakiro with you. And again, look at that. Hooking. Right? And this guy's out of position. That's why hook is so important. Probably he didn't have mana, right? He didn't. He just didn't use it. But that was, in my opinion, that was a kill there. You know, sometimes it happens. What do you do? Again, look so much space to actually chase him down. And this is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna chase people down. Look at that. Do you see that? They can't really do. It's just too much damage. Even if I get caught, unless I'm completely out of position, right? I really want to show you that. I have so much health, you know. That's not really going to happen. Double dual breath, insane from my Jakiro. And then look at that. The most important thing is that this guy doesn't contest at all, right? I should probably play a little more aggressive as I am. This guy's alone. What is he doing? And, you know, I can't allow him. And all of a sudden, we just deny everything. Creep wave. It's just so good for us. Like, and of course, look at it. We just deny everything. I'm out of position. Again, dual breath. They can't really fight that. And look at that. Hook. So much damage. So much damage. They can't fight into that. I really want to say that the laning stage is actually over at this point. But, again, I really want you to see that because I actually fucked up so hard right now. Look at that. In my opinion, I didn't. But, you know, shit happens. You know? Because look what happens here, right? He was about to get the rune, and he didn't actually need to remnant here. I would just hook him here, and he was actually dead. Okay? I would just run him down. And of course, I miss a hook. He dies. I'm like, okay. You know, and then I die as well myself in my attempt to make something happen. And this is one of the negatives I have as a player. You know, TA right now is out of control. And I'm not really sure if that's my fault. But again, we come again to the what we said previously. If you have a good laning stage and Ursa is bot, why not do that? You know, sometimes you have to play a lot of games to actually understand that. I feel like I did the correct thing here. I just fucked up with the execution, but it's really good to see that, you know, even, let's say, good players and higher ranked players actually do these mistakes. I learned my lesson. I have a catapult. I might as well go Siege. At this point, we're going to see the next few minutes. Look at that. I really don't want to... Look at that. If you try to skill shot hook, don't do that. get as close as possible, you know. Look at that. He can dodge that, it's a line. He can go anywhere else and we just find the kill. And all of a sudden, I place a ward behind because I know it's 2v1 and I try to make something happen, right? I'm like, okay, again, hooking the catapult. This guy's gonna die most likely. And I think the lane stage is really good. If you see networks, 4K network, Jakiro 6 minutes in, Ursa is like really hard time. But again, I'm gonna show like what's gonna happen for the next few minutes. You know, we can sit the tower just because we have liquid fire. You know, he goes for max liquid fire, which it's fine, you know. But all of a sudden, this is what happens. This is a 2v1 scenario here. Do you see how I left him alone? It's like I'm playing from behind, just too far away, you know? And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, maybe I should have done that. You know what I should have done instead is, he's actually quite tanky as a hero, you know? I should actually just run at them. Just literally just run at them, and instead of hook and make something happen. Because then, you know, they actually find the kill, and then I was pretty rough, and I die myself as well. And, you know, they actually come back to the lane, but I feel like, you know, if I play a little bit more careful, then, you know, this shouldn't have happened in the first place. Anyway, I learned my lesson, you know, not using TP. And what I'm gonna do is, okay, Ursa is bot, you know, I might as well go there, take the tower. Of course, take level 6, you know, free XP is always good. And the moment I realize that Jakiro is about to die or make something happen, you know, then I just play around my Jakiro, have my dismember right now. I feel so confident. I'm ready to dive, you know. But Ursa just TP top, so we just took the tower. And at this moment, if you see the net worth, 5k net worth for my Jakiro. And I fucked up a lot in the lane stage. Of course, TA is actually a little bit annoying this game, but we managed to end this game 20-25 minutes in because Jakiro got a shard as well, and he went for the attack range, and we just snowballed really hard. And TA, even with BKB, we have Dismember, we have Griffin Script, she will struggle a lot, and of course, if she doesn't get BKB, Jakiro is just gonna melt her. I think that's a good laning stage of how to play with the range position 3, and also how not to play, and sometimes execution is pretty bad. So let's jump to another game that the laning stage was pretty rough. Let us start. I actually decided to show one more laning stage that was really good, to kind of show that, you know, sometimes you can leave the lane, unlike the previous Jakiro and the Death Prophet lane, and you are 100% sure that this is gonna work out, right? So right now I get to play with OD. It's meta, you know, from time to time, the hero is quite strong, and it's being played not only in the mid lane, in the off lane as well. And I get to play versus Morphling, and sometimes this is the type of things that, you know, the more higher you get, the more experience you get with. So for example, Morphling is a hero that sucks level 1, and I know that Morphling players are gonna be AFK all the time. They're gonna be AFK. They stand here, full agility, and they just wait. I'm like, okay, Pudge is really solid versus that, so you might as well want to do something about that, right? On top of that, I get to play with an OD that's a lot of damage, and it's Morphling with Apparition that's really passive as a lane. Definitely doesn't have enough damage to deal with an OD, right? If he has a really good start. So here's what happens. I'm waiting for him to go to stand still, you know, and I'm like, okay, let's go. You know, I thought like we're gonna get the kill. I think I fucked up some point. I felt like I could get one more hit, and I want to give my, you know, the first one to my OD. But I'm like, okay, what is another thing Morphling is gonna do? You know, so I'm hiding this way, and this is where I just fucked up, you know. And since I have no mana, what you want to do is like you can just get to bully this guy, because if you see he has really low health, even though he has some decent armor, it doesn't mean anything, because also Arcane Orb is pure damage. So I'm quite tanky to actually be in the front line and try to deny everything, right? Blocking the small camp, of course, and right now have mana, try to make something happen. Of course, I'm gonna say that again, not a hook expert. And of course, more mana until we get level 2, right? Push and sideball is the motto of the position 4 lane, the position 4 role. And right now I have level 2, and I can just get to bully this guy, right? And again, drag the attention away. Ideally, the power spike for my OD is level 6 and Meteor Hammer, right? One or the other. Right now, again, we try to side pull. Look at that, you know. So we can bring the creep wave back and create again a safe lane scenario, right? So I know that this matchup is really good because OD is gonna win the CS war. It's like too much damage. And right now, I'm gonna drag the attention away from the apparition, right? I don't really require more levels than what I have right now, right? Right now, I wanted to go there. I really wanted to show that. I want to go there, but look, the creep wave is just too much damage for us to handle. You know, I'm not that tanky as a hero. I'm like, okay, let's go back. But right now that I have a creep wave, maybe we could do something. And of course, I really want to say something. Look where I play. I play in front. I play in front, right? Of OD, so they can never jump on him. Oh, and this guy's out of position, right? I try to make something happen, but again, you're as strong as your lane partner. If he doesn't want to help you there, then he will not. But right now, this is like, you see how I just hook him, but he just doesn't come with me, or you know, maybe it's a little bit premature. I can't do anything about that, rather than bring more regen and try again and again and again, right? Right now, look at that. This is a really big creep wave for my OD. I don't really want to suck XP away from a hero that's really good in the mid and late game, right? I really don't want to do that. Let him get the XP themselves, right? No need to take all the XP. At this moment, I think the lane stage is going really, really fine. But I know that the more levels we get, the harder it's gonna get, right? This guy is really out of position, so we can't actually not take the kill. Look at that. This is actually free hook here. Like, you don't even have to try, you know. He can't actually go elsewhere. And at this point, you know, got the kill. I'm checking OD, you know, what's his items. I'm like, okay, he's about to get the ring, so that's really good. And now this guy's alone, so we try to go on him, you know. I'm like, okay, maybe we can burst him, you know. I'm gonna use Mango. Doesn't work out. Freaking Morphlings just swift attributes and just so tanky. At this moment, I give my last tango. I'm like, I go back, right? The lane, before I leave, look at it. The lane is pushing, right? So this guy is gonna be in a really fine spot. The lane is actually pushing, right? And again, like the previous two examples, what do you want to do? Again, Visage versus Invoker, you want to actually make something happen. This time, I didn't fuck up, you know, I felt quite confident about that. I didn't want to smoke actually here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk here. If he sees me, he has a ward, right? And this is what I do for the rest of the game. I felt like the bot lane was fine because Morphling and Apparition is a type of heroes that they will not actually pressure the an OD. OD is just too tanky, you know. And once he has Meteor Hammer, maybe I should have left after Meteor Hammer, but I felt like, okay, Visage is level 5, he doesn't have birds yet, we might as well kill him, you know. And Invoker usually go for level 3 Quas, you know, if you have Pudge, go for Quas, so you have stronger cold snap. So all I need to do is, like, if I find Hook, that's great. But even if I don't, worst case scenario, I just run him down with cold snap and Hook. It's just too much damage to take. Look at that. I'm trying to land in the Hook, and we actually find the kill here, you know. That was really good. We find the kill. What they do, I don't really want to go, you know, I'm actually closer top lane. And this is like, do you see this lane? I could have started there, it's the truth. I could have started top, as we said in the very beginning of the video, to actually punish the Pagna position 3. But I chose to go for the OD and try to shut down Morph with the first blood. I gambled, sadly, didn't work out. Right? And this is something I really want to show again. No need to actually use skill shot, right? I could hook there, but I'm like, okay, just run him down. Like, I don't even have to hook. You just run him down, right? We kill top. What do we go? We have a rune. We go levels. Sorry, it's minute 6. My Invoker takes a rune, right? And right now, again, I'm just trying to hook. Doesn't work out. And the good thing about Pudge is it's literally no risk, high reward, right? It's literally no risk, high reward if you think about it. And now we do one last try, and this is what I tried to do for the rest of the lane stage. I tried to shut down the Visage. Personally, as a player, I'm really scared of Visage, you know. We try some wombo combo here, you know. I didn't really expect for this to work out. I think I died here, but honestly, it just doesn't matter, you know. All I care is Visage to die, right? Get the boots again. My OD is having the you know, has a party bot lane because he's really good versus Morphling. At this moment, you know, we try to make something happen. I get the hook here, and of course, I get super tilted because, you know, sometimes Dota is not hard. You know, look at that. Sometimes all you have to do is literally cancel your, cancel his, look at that. All he has to do is literally cancel the freaking, life turn, right? Like, honestly, sometimes game is simple, like, just have to press one button, you know? You play Ogre, man, just cancel the freaking, just keep the stand to cancel that. right? And then, you know, again, moving around the map, going right and left. And of course, we make one last attempt. I try to get level 6 as fast as possible because level 6 is really good because it's a lot of instances versus Visage, so I kind of break this cloak. And then I just hook him. I'm like, okay, I really want you to show that. I just hook that. And just disengage instantly the moment I see that. I'm like, okay, probably that's not gonna work out. But again, we find the kill on Visage, and this is what it matters. I think that right now, if you see OD, part of his time, Invoker, really solid play. And of course Visage, because we actually played around Visage more than around Morphling, because Morphling after level 3, level 4, it's just so hard to kill unless you have a solid stun. I think that's a really good laning stage, and I think we had a really good mid game, but you know, people threw, so we actually lost this game. So now let's go to a really, we're gonna show 2 more examples, really bad laning stages. And yeah, let's show some really bad laning stages to see how not to play Pudge, because sometimes it's just not our fault, you know, sometimes it's just the hero that you know, the enemy's heroes do a combos that we can't really do anything about that. So let's jump into that. Okay, let us start, and right now I get to play Pudge, and I start with the Orb of Venom, try to go to the safe lane again. You know, I'm having an Abaddon, and I'm having a Turblade, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna provide all the slow, and we're gonna find some kills. On top of that, I see that they have a Shadow Shaman position 4, right? It doesn't matter if it's Bane or Shadow Shaman. None of the heroes can disengage with me, right? So I'm like, okay, we are just gonna run them down, and this is usually what happens, right? Team actually follows me, Brewmaster follows me as well, and look at this Brad Mother, she's a position 3. I'm like, okay, we find Brad Mother, look at the slow, and we just find first blood, right? So that's the best possible start, because in my mind I was playing with the with the Brewmaster versus a Monkey King and the Bane or a Shadow Shaman lane, which is really rough, right? Really rough. And I thought, okay, that's okay. Maybe if we have some level advantage we can force, because Monkey King is not that strong. But in the end, turns out that my Terrorblade decided to go offlane and my Brewmaster safe lane, right? And you see what happens here. The same thing happens here. Look how we just run him down. That's really shows how strong Pudge is versus support. Let's go back 10 seconds ago. Because this guy literally cannot move. Let's see that from his perspective. He used Brains Up. Just doesn't matter. We just run him down. Orb of Venom Rod. And all of a sudden, we are like, okay, this is the best possible start. I'm almost level 2. I might as well just start bot to kill Brad Mother one more time. And then Terrorblade is in the freaking offlane versus Monkey King. And right now I felt, okay, we are gonna destroy top lane because Monkey King is not that strong. Look at that. And then, I don't know what was that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help him. But you see, like, in 2 minutes, and I was really mad at that. Look at that. I got blocked from my Terrorblade, and if we were to find this skill, I'm mentally actually done. If we could find this skill without me dying, that would be great. But the more levels, you know, the more levels I get, the harder it's gonna get, because, you know, we play around Metamorphosis, and right now I'm mentally actually, you know, I'm like, yeah, Terrorblade, like, it would have been so good if you have Brewmaster here. And right now I'm gonna show the first 2-3 minutes to see how you can lose a laning stage. Now I'm trying to get my level 2 here, but this actually never happens because it like took forever. You know, I'm like, please, look, they just run us down. Look at that, it's just so hard. And at this point the laning stage is over, right? At this point I should have went bot or go to the mid lane, and you know, because I get to die again in the I get that again before I get my hook, and you know, I was actually so, let's say, mad because I don't know why I have a Terrorblade in the freaking offlane. I don't know what he doesn't want to play against Brad Mother, but does he prefer to play versus Monkey King? And then I'm like, okay, please one creep, please one creep, please one creep, kill one creep, please. And then there's no follow up at this moment. You know, I'm leaving so my Terrorblade can get free XP. No, I'm not leaving actually. I'm saying maybe we can find the kill. Doesn't work out, and now I'm leaving at this moment. That's too much damage, right? Too much damage, he doesn't follow up, and the lane stage is actually over right now. Because the moment Metamorphosis ends, we're gonna die, you know, and right now I'm just moving elsewhere, right? I think that's a really good example on how to have the best possible start, and how, you know, having TP versus Monkey, you can't really, I could have played better, you know, maybe be a little bit more patient, but I just don't see how my Terrorblade's gonna farm, because I can just slip him, and then they can just jump on him, and that can't really do anything, you know, especially if we have Metamorphosis, maybe we can just find the kill, but right now you see I'm just going elsewhere, to find some kills. We're gonna go. It's another example though where I get to lose again versus managing it, and we're gonna show how to also have the best possible start and at the same time how to also lose the game. Actually the lane. So let's jump into that. This is the final game I'm gonna show as Pudge position 4, and again, right now I have a Mars, which is a little bit more classic as a position 3. You know, we haven't seen something like Mars Beastmaster tied to lane with, and I get to play versus again Manking and Marci. Now that's a really hard. We're 4 melees versus Manking and Marci, which yeah, bum. We are 4 melees versus Marci and Manking, which is like really hard. But again, what do? We just don't see how we win the laning stage that easily, so we might as well become useful from the beginning, going to the bot lane, and this is what happens. Look at that. We try with the Orb of Venom and the Rod to make something happen, and look at that. This guy's out of position. It's a support invoker. We shred him. We get first blood. And yeah, we run down the Spirit Breaker as well, and the game starts. With the money that we're gonna get, probably I should have go for something like Earn of Sadus, for example. I chose to go for Windlace to run down people. Maybe Ring of Protection would make more sense. And again, look at that. It's already a really rough matchup. I'm like, look at that. I really want to show that Manking is not that strong level 1, but once he's level 3, level 4, and he has a little bit more health to survive all the damage that we have, so he's gonna get guaranteed for Jingos and then just bundle strike and recover all the health, then it's gonna be a problem. But level 1, look at that. Even if you get Jingos, it just doesn't matter. We just run him down if you see. And that was a really good trade. He gets out, and what we want to do is get level 2 power spike. If we get level 2 before them, we might actually make something happen. And this is where I actually fuck up myself because I'm not really used to play versus Marci. Look at that. Go under tower. I use myself, and what I want to do is wait my level 2. This like try to D-ward here, but I didn't find the ward. I was like super mad right now. And we get level 2 right now. They have level 2. Look at that. They have level 2. And the moment I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save you. Okay? And he has used Boundless Strike. And Boundless Strike level 1 has like something like 22 seconds cooldown or something. Like 28. That's a lot. So we know for like half second, we can just run people down. Look at that. And now we just go. What are they gonna do, you know? We just literally ran the Monkey King down with a Pudge, right? And that keeps happening. But again, the more levels they get, the harder it's gonna be. I solved my March because I you know, you try to understand, you know, you try to be understanding pretty much, you know. You try to, hey, I don't understand, you know, that's a really rough lane. I understand that, you know, here's a solve for you. And right now, let's go back. I get jumped, and this is like how hard it is. Like, they are both really strong versus melee heroes because he can just dispose me anytime, and at the same time, they can just jump on us. So here's what happens. Manking comes, he jumps on me, but look at that. I hook. We try to find the kill here. Didn't really happen, and right now, I gave it a shot in the mid lane because Queen of Pain, if she's smart, okay, he's gonna have like some kind of dagger versus Batrider, and ideally I would just go level 2 dagger to deal with that Batrider because you might actually find some kills. And right now we make an attempt to find kills, didn't really work out. Run back to the top lane, and of course I really want you to show that before we do that, look where the lane is pushed, right? So I can go to the mid lane and do that because, you know, he's actually safe under the tower, right? You really need to do that, right? You really need to, when you rotate, you want to make sure that your position 3 is actually fine. The lane is not pushing, and like, fuck it, I'm out of here, I have nothing better to do. Because we can actually find the kill. Now, I go for hook level 2. Because rod level 2 is when you're so confident that your right clicks is gonna run him down, and all you want is not for them to disengage, but with the Monkey King, I want to have as much damage as possible. Hooking doesn't work out. And I think the lane stage is over in like a couple of minutes. You're gonna understand how. I find Marci here, hook, hit him, and this, like, I'm not really sure why we don't go on Marci, and we just die here, right? I really want you to see that the way to win also lane is for both spells to combine them on one target, right? I mean, I don't think like when we get the hook, why he just spears. Okay, he's gonna get Jingo. who cares, okay? Okay, he's gonna deny 3 creeps. Like, if we find any sort of kill in this lane, we should be happy, right? It's a really rough matchup. We should be happy. And right now, watching the map to see what can I do, you know, if I can find a kill or something like that. The lane is pushed in the mid lane. I don't think I can actually kill I can hook a Bat Rider that deep. And all of a sudden, we find the kill on my king here. Again, I might have to hook, right? We find the hook. And let's see like 1 more minute to see how the lane was actually lost. I'm waiting here because I'm afraid of my king, you know, if my king is going to respawn, I'm going to get disposed. And again, another miscoordination, I guess, for both of us, you know, let us blame both of us. Look at that. It's just so hard to play this lane, right? So hard to play this lane. I get the man king here, hit. And you see how this guy just disengages? I'm like, go, 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 go. And we just, if we were to find this kill, we're back to the lane, we might as well win it. We didn't find it, and right now, painting stage is over. So, that was a gamble there. I felt like we could take the kill. Marci's like, oh, Monkey King, we're not gonna take it. And, you know, if you're lower MMR, don't go for this type of plays. Most likely, your position 3 is too afraid of this type of heroes while they shouldn't. And what I would suggest is actually starting going bot lane and running down these heroes, for example. Even if you, like, Void is not the greatest hero, but Disruptor has a lot of damage, so you might as well go bot and start killing these guys. So let's jump to the final thoughts of the video and talk generally about Pudge. So to sum up for Pudge, this is the last part, like the last part of this 2-part series of how to play Pudge. This is a video for the position 4. We have also made the one for the position 5. And what I want to say is that the hero is not as bad as people might think. You know, the hero is quite strong. It is just too misunderstood, right? What I suggest though is play Pudge the way I showed you. You know, with the Rod, with the Orb of Venom, make something happen. Maybe even try lane as a position 4. And generally, in my opinion, from my student experience, they have a lot of success when they get to play Pudge because it's a little bit, you know, no skill hero, right? The hooks are actually quite advanced, but if you see, I'm not a hook expert. In fact, you know, sometimes I land them, sometimes I screw things up, but generally, most of the times you don't have to hook, you just run people down and you just utilize the fact that Pudge is high health, high damage, and a lot of slow hero. Yeah, so that's a guide. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you want one specific hero, please also comment below. I might as well make some videos about that. I'm actually thinking of making mid lane videos, so if you are into that, also feel free to say so. If you haven't actually joined my Discord server, you know, the link is down below. Go for that. Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the next video. GG.